The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network.
Run it, run it, run it. Let's go. Yeah, head step up, go. Get out, let's go. Here we go, work at it. Work your technique, do little things right. That's it, all right, roll it.
This is Cardinals Game Plan, presented by Dignity Health. Your hosts, Paul Calvisi and Ron Wolfley, with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury.
All right, here we go, everyone. Welcome in. You know it is the regular season, Ron Wolfley, when the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury, joins us. Week one, show number one, game plan. And Wolf, did the preseason feel like 4 games or 40?
Oh, my goodness. You know the answer to that, Paulie. And I'm sure Coach probably is tired of the preseason as well.
It was different, wasn't it? Because you weren't coaching to win necessarily.
It was more about coaching for evaluations. You know, I think obviously there was some focus on the third game, installations, working on processes as a mock game week. But other than that, you wanted to see guys execute your base install stuff at a high level.
Coach, what about your first training camp? When you consider your first training camp, your first preseason, right? Any lessons learned?
Yeah, I think that you got to have answers for the media each and every day. I think let's start with that. But it's a great setup out there at the stadium. Michael does a tremendous job of having the hotel right next to the stadium, and I think everything's really accessible for the players. So I really like the way it flowed. I like the way our guys, got after it, and they were taken care of well.
The roster, the way it shakes down. Tell us about how you constructed it. What did you have in mind when you made some of those final decisions in the final 53?
Yeah, I think, as always, there were guys that probably deserved to make it, and based on numbers or special teams or different instances, ended up landing with other teams. And that's always tough. I mean, being my first time having some of those conversations, it's a tough part of the business. But I think between Steve and myself, Jeff Rogers-Vance, we had a good vision for where it needed to go, and I like where it's at.
Coach, what about your leadership? Do you like your leadership? And did you name captains this week?
I really do. It's a veteran group that really has played a lot of football when you're looking at Larry Fitzgerald and Terrell Suggs and Andy Lee. And so excited about that and how they carry themselves. And voted for captains offensively, A.Q. Shipley, Larry Fitzgerald, of course, defensively, Corey Peters, Chandler Jones, and then for special teams, Andy Lee. So it's a great group with a lot of experience, and they garner a lot of respect in our locker room.
And it's amazing to see some of the leadership you're getting out of your rookie quarterback. In fact, we have some throws. We'll take a look at some of his throws from the preseason and just talk about his development and what you saw over the course of August from Kyler Murray.
I think just a comfort level. It's not every day you just get thrust into that role. I mean, usually there's some sort of sit, wait period and watch a veteran kind of do his thing. But this was his show from the first day he stepped, in this facility. And I think he's handled it well. He's gotten better and better. And I like where he's at going into week one.
Coach, what do you think defensive coordinators may try to do to Kyler Murray in this offense? Do you think maybe more rundown blitzing, the sub package? Do you think they'll come after him more?
I think it'll be a mixture. I think that's what's unique. When you have a player like him and he's that dynamic and similar to Russell Wilson, you never know what a defense coordinator is going to do. It could be something you've seen the previous 6 weeks, and on game day it's something completely different. So we're really focused this week on what we're trying to execute and doing our stuff at a high level.
He can run. We know that. How will you use him in the run game?
As effectively as possible, I'll put it that way. He's a guy who he can obviously make plays with his feet, but he's also a really dynamic drop back passer. And so there's that fine line you walk, and you just want him to be safe and be smart when he does take off.
Coach, would there be any governors on him whatsoever? Like, no, don't do it. Don't run here. Will you call a
No,
play?
I'm going to let him play his game.
You're going to let him play?
Yeah, we're going to let him play his game. And we're not going to be the Ravens. I mean, and run the quarterback 20 times. That's not our game. But we're going to let him play his game and react and see how it goes.
Because he's a pocket quarterback who can run. That's something I think we learned right away. And how much do you think you learned going against the blitz, especially teams like the Raiders and to a certain degree the Vikings? Did they almost do Kyler a favor, exposing him to some regular season schemes?
I think every rep as a rookie you get that's game tempo is important. And I think in some of those games running our base stuff and him having to react and see it is only going to pay dividends down the road.
Talk about Vance Joseph and your defense, Coach. How involved are you going to be in the defense, or are you happy to turn it over to Vance?
Yeah, Vance, being a head coach the last 2 years, he has a great feel for that group, and he's a great leader. The players respect him. He's got great schemes. He's got great coaches around him, and so that's a deal where I'm obviously going to be interacting with Vance, but I'm excited to have a guy that can run that side of the football and have them playing at a high level.
And minus your top two corners, how does that trickle down? What does that mean for the defense?
Yeah, it's tough. You lose your top two before you even get to week one. I mean, that's a rare instance, and so. Luckily, drafting Byron Murphy there helped. I mean, to provide some depth, bringing in Tremaine Brock. We like how he's developed, and then Chris Jones is a guy who this spring on has really made big strides. And so between those three guys, they're going to have to hold down the fort until we get Pat back.
Coach, tempo of this offense has been a topic of conversation, especially amongst the players. They've been talking about playing fast. Is it more difficult to go up tempo at this level, the National Football League, than it is at any other level?
I think it's more difficult to execute everything regardless of speed in the NFL. I mean, you're going against the best players, the best coaches, and so obviously anytime you try to do some sort of play offensively, it's going to be tougher than it is in college, and we understand that. And so there's going to be a healthy mix of what we're trying to do with the tempo, without tempo, and it just comes down to execution.
And the Cardinals aren't the only team, obviously. The Chiefs, the Rams, we were in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins was talking about the Vikings are going to use it. What does it do to a defense? If you're doing it effectively, the tempo as an offense, what does that do to a defense?
What you hope is it kind of settles them, and you're going to see what you're going to get, particularly with a young quarterback. They got to get lined up. They got to get ready for the snap, and they can't do all the disguising that maybe that they want to do when you are huddling and slowing the game down.
How does it impact the offense in a negative way, if at all? Is there a negative to it?
I haven't seen one. You're probably asking the wrong guy, but I'm obviously a proponent of the attacking style of play, and so I haven't seen a drawback.
How curious are you to find out how Detroit and every other team is going to defend your offense?
Yeah, I've been calling plays now for 10 years, or this will be my 10th season doing it. So I've seen a lot of different defenses, and everybody attacks you differently, and I think. As a coaching staff, we got to be ready to adapt, because just like we've had all summer to get ready for Detroit, they've had all summer to get ready for us. And so I'm sure there'll be some new looks we haven't seen and some things we probably haven't anticipated, and that's all part of week one.
Next up, we put the bird's eye on the Detroit Lions when Cardinals Game Plan returns. Cardinals Game Plan is brought to you by Dignity Health, hello human kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Who says the Cardinals and Lions are going to find out a whole bunch about each other when, think about it, the two head coaches go back a long ways, Ron Wolfley, right? You and Matt Patricia, right?
We do.
Go back to your New England days?
We're in New England when he was just getting started and really started at the very bottom, and I was at the bottom myself, and I watched a guy come in who was really bright, you could tell, had a great football mind, and worked his tail off. And earned everything he had at that place. So I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for Matt. Always been excited for the success he's had, and it's all well deserved.
Coach, do you think it's important to actually know the mind behind the schemes?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, like I said, I think week to week, particularly from that Patriot tree, they do a great job of adjusting their defense to your offense, and they're going to try to take away your best players and take away what you do best. And I think that is something we're expecting.
So it's more about the big eye in the sky, doesn't lie.
No doubt. I think the film study, you can go back however many games you want and try to get a good feel for it. But like I said, with these guys and anybody from that tree, you never know what you're going to get.
Patricia has a good sense of humor. He's lamented more than once. So thanks, NFL schedule makers. I get Kliff Kingsbury and Kyler week one. How much of a competitive advantage do you think it is for the Arizona Cardinals, the unknown?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, I've been calling plays for a while now, and so there is a body of work that you can look at and study from, and everybody week one is going to show something new, and I think that kind of makes it a wash a little bit, and Matt, he's pretty good at self-deprecating and trying to play that card, so they'll be ready to roll, I'm sure.
Coach, how would you describe the Lions' defensive philosophy?
I think, like I said, they're going to adjust to your offense, and they're going to try to take away your best players and take away what you do best. And They have one of the best defensive fronts in football, one of the best cover corners, one of the best nickels. So they have some really talented players, and we know it's going to be a challenge the entire game.
Yeah, they picked up Trey Flowers, a big defensive end. They have Mike Daniels inside, Damon Snacks Harrison. How do you feel about your offensive line right now?
We feel like it's a group that this offseason we improved dramatically in signing Sweezy, Marcus Gilbert, getting AQ back, getting Justin Pugh back, and so we like where it's at. And once again, this is going to be a tough front to go against, and we know we're going to have to hold up early, but I really like what I've seen throughout preseason with that first unit.
What do you know of the Lions offense? I knew Matthew Stafford, obviously, an NFL quarterback, one of the best in the world.
He is. He's phenomenal. You know, a Texas guy that I've followed for a long time from his high school days through Georgia, and have always had a ton of respect for him and the way he plays the game. And you know, even last year was apparently one of his down years, and I think he was like a 90 rating. And so he's a phenomenal talent, and he makes that whole thing go. They have a great group of young wideouts. The tight end they drafted is the real deal. Watching the film. You know, Amendola is a guy who always makes big plays in big situations, and so it'll be a full challenge for us.
Yeah, Stafford started every game now for 8 straight years. Think about that. But they're more of a run team this year, supposedly, with Darrell Bevell as the offensive coordinator. So where are you with your run defense? Well, I know that was a point of emphasis going into this season, right?
It was. I think we made strides throughout. I think until you get to week 1 and all your pieces are rolling and you're going full speed and you've really installed everything, you don't know completely. But I like what I've seen from our linebackers. I feel like that's a group that's really come on with Hicks and Walker and getting Hassan back hopefully. And then defensive line, we made some great additions late that we feel good about.
Coach, you actually know Danny Amendola, right? He's a friend of yours,
Too
right?
well. Yeah, this had too many friends hit us up for tickets this week, but I hope we can avoid a conflict before the game. No, he's, you know, obviously went to the same college and phenomenal player, great person, and one of my best friends in the world. So we got some bragging rights on this one.
And what is the degree that Matt Patricia has, by the way? Because you have a guy, Brett Toth, now, who has a degree in nuclear engineering from Army, but Patricia has one of those.
He's up there, right?
Yeah.
Aeronautical engineering, or it's something really impressive. He is as smart as they come in football.
Kyler Murray mic'd up and wired for sound. When we return to Cardinals Game Plan. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Rookie quarterback Kyler Murray has all the physical skills to be a great one. What's less known is his ability to lead a team. We shed some light on that now, as Murray was mic'd up for a training camp practice. The sound and fury of NFL football. Wired.
Are you okay with everybody talking about how great you are and how good you could be so soon and all that?
Who said that? Who said that?
Well, you're the favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, no.
That comes from Vegas.
They gotta put somebody as a favorite. I gotta go out and play well, and if I don't, then people are gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. Everybody's gonna be mad. So my focus is to play well. How are you? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Day to day.
I think the thing I've been most impressed with is just how cerebral he is at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he sees the defense, he processes, he has great information that he can get back to me. So that's been really encouraging.
They dropped him on that one, huh? It's good read.
We knew he was playing right away, so we wanted to build it around him and make him as comfortable as possible. And so he knew it better than anybody coming in, and he still does. And so as everybody's trying to catch him on their knowledge of the system and learning, it's been great for him to have that leadership role and be able to get guys where he wanted them and actually be able to help coach the offense.
You don't want to hustle? We're gonna make you hustle. 1-1.
He's going to be here a lot longer than I'm going to be here. It's more about me getting on his page and him getting on my page because I'll be out the door before he will.
I should have back shouldered you.
I think guys understand, you know, it's going to be his show. So, you know, if you want to be a part of it, get on board.
I don't have the speed to really chase him down. Like curtains to do that, but just anytime I can get my body in front of the dude and you put it on, they're not going to get through me.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
And we see you interacting with guys on offense and, you know, correcting them and adjusting them. How do you go about doing that, guys who might have 10 years in the league?
No, you're down. When you're the quarterback, you got to have things your way. I mean, at the end of the day, you're the one touching the ball every play. So, you know, we all got to be on the same page.
Was that on me? Was that me? Ah.
I really got that in my bag. Like, you see it, DJ?
You know, you ever meet the guy that's been cool his whole life, and like certain stuff is just like, I've been the man since I was 4, bro. Like, you don't have to tell me that I'm gonna have a great game on Thursday. Like, I know that. You know what I mean? And that's cool to be around guys like that.
One day he's gonna stop throwing at him. When you see 21, he's really fast and can close space really quickly. All right. I think we figured that out now.
He's, in my eyes, best corner in the game. So for me to be able to see him out there every day is just making everybody better.
I'm going to be the reason he gets better because he keep testing me. I'm going to be the reason.
Have you had that rookie moment yet?
Yeah, we had to sing. I had to sing song of Casey and JoJo all my life. We had the whole room rocking for sure.
You know, 2 takeaways. One, Kyler's done a great job of interacting with all the guys. And number 2, you can see it there. He's not as much learning the offense as he is commanding the offense as a rookie, isn't he?
I think more so than what you usually see. He has a good feel for it, having played in a similar offense in high school and college, and what we're trying to do. And I hope that kind of expedites the learning curve of the NFL. But I feel like he's done a good job of, you know, making himself available to his teammates. He's competitive as all get out on the field, and he doesn't lack confidence, that's for sure.
Coach, I don't know if a quarterback has ever come into the National Football League as a rookie and actually had those set of circumstances in front of him.
I don't either. To be able to come in and have a good feel for it and not just be trying to keep your head above water the entire time is a unique situation, and hopefully it pays dividends for us.
All right, more with Coach Kingsbury as we continue here on Cardinals Game Plan.
Next, Paul and Wolf break down what to watch for on both sides of the ball in Sunday's opener against the Lions. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Now, Paul Calvisi and Ron Wolfley look at the intriguing matchups in Sunday's contest between the Lions and the Cardinals.
You know, you can feel all week how this one counts. Just the vibe of regular season week number 1. And David Johnson talking about how curious he is to see the creativity of his head coach, Kliff Kingsbury. Well, guess what, David? We're all in line behind you, okay? So what are you looking for, Wolf, on offense from the Cards?
Paulie, I'll tell you right now, I want to see the fact that we kept 7 wide receivers. Wide receiver room has got 7 guys in it right now and only 2 tight ends. That tells me here comes 10 personnel, right? 1 back, no tight ends, 4 wide receivers. Here it comes. I can't wait to see that, Paulie. Also, I'm looking for the clap snap. Is it gone? Is this something that is going to be gone, Paul? Or is this something that's going to rear its head once again?
It was subjective in the preseason. There were different results with different officiating crews.
Paulie, are we going to use zone read? Is it truly going to be a zone read? Is it going to be an RPO as well, right? Are we going to see the jet sweep? How much of this illusion of complexity are we going to see offensively?
You know, on defense, I think you're going to see a D with more of an edge. How can it not be with DJ Swearinger, Terrell Suggs, they added Cassius Marsh. These guys play with that mentality.
No doubt about it, Paulie, but I think the Detroit Lions are going to line up and they're going to try to run the ball. Darrell Bevell is now their offensive coordinator. Not Jim Bob Cooter. Darrell Bevell is their offensive coordinator now. He likes to run the ball. They're going to get up in 21 personnel, 22 personnel, and they're going to run the ball. They've been watching preseason film as well. I'll be shocked if the Lions don't try to run the ball in a north-south way.
All right, Cardinals going to try and go 10-4 in home openers at State Farm Stadium. We'll be right back and wrap it up with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury.
Coach Kingsbury's final thoughts on the eve of his first game when we return. Cardinals Game Plan has been brought to you by Dignity Health, Hello Human Kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Wrapping up this edition of Cardinals Game Plan with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury. We've been saying for about a month plus now that the Cardinals lead the NFL in curiosity and intrigue, if nothing else.
Big time.
How curious are you to experience your first NFL game that counts?
I'm very curious. You talk to coaches on our staff and around the league, and you really don't know what you have until week one, and everybody kind of understands that. And so we're all excited to see where we're at. We feel like we've made a lot of strides throughout the offseason going into this first game, and now it's about going out there and getting it done.
Coach, what do you think are the keys to winning this game?
I think obviously protecting the football offensively. You got a young quarterback who's a playmaker and him not trying to do too much, and then defensively stopping the run and trying to slow down some of those dynamic wideouts.
All right, Coach, good luck against the Lions.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching Cardinals Game Plan. For more great Cards content, check out the youtube.com/AZCardinals.